Governor, Tom Wolf. She's been a great friend and a wonderful asset for our communities here in Pittsburgh. And let's give a hand for Khadija.
Make them step up.
One of the things that the schools were kind enough to ask me to do was to welcome people to this conference, to this convention. Can you hear me okay? No. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Is that loud enough?
Mic's not on.
Nope.
Mic's not on. Mic's on? All right. We do call and response on an ordinary day anyway, so microphone check.
1, 2.
But in all seriousness, and welcome to this. I know what I see this morning. I'm pushing it. I am delighted and honored to welcome people to the 12th Annual African American Networking Convention, statewide, Pennsylvania. But before I move forward, I really think, in the spirit of call and response, we need to acknowledge the long-term commitment and the magnificence of what the schools have done. They are 50 years in, 50 years in to doing things that are responsive to the African American and Latino community, in addition to having the signature event, which is the 12th year. So I'm going to need you to practice applauding, because there's a couple other times where I'm going to need that response. So can we applaud? Now, your next applause job is for showing up. This is important. When we take the time to come together, to be willing to share our resources, to be willing to broaden our own range. So applause for us for showing up. And now, the reason that I was fortunate enough to be asked to open the convention and to give remarks, I'm going to need big applause here, people. Big, so get ready. Is I have the privilege and the honor of bringing greetings from Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf. Now, if the governor had attended, then that means I probably wouldn't have been able to attend. So I'm kind of happy that he's busy. But one of the things that the governor would have been presenting to you today, and I just want to give a few minutes, is his platform on education.
Yes.
Now, this convention is specific to issues about African Americans and Latinos, so we can talk amongst ourselves. What we know is historically, African Americans looked at education as an enormous privilege. If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
Yes.
There was a period of time in our lives as African Americans when we were specifically prohibited from learning to read. If you knew how to read, you better be very careful who else knew that you knew. Because you could lose your life over something like that. That is the core of being able to educate yourself. And educating yourself is still one of the keys to being able to change the quality of our lives, individually and as a community. So part of why I'm proud to be able to stand here and talk to you about the platform that Governor Wolf has for education is because it is so critical, not to just the general Pennsylvania community, but to the African American and Latino communities. So, Governor Wolf has put forth a proposal that will increase the budget for public education. Now, yes, you can applaud. The past 4 years, the budget has been cut. And I have to check this because the number was astronomical to me. $1 billion. We lost $1 billion in education over the last 4 years. So, what Governor Wolf is seeking to do is not only restore that $1 billion, but then increase it. In addition to losing that money, our students' scores in math and reading fell. And if we don't have students who are educated and prepared to step into the next work opportunities, and prepared to step into the next business opportunities, and prepared to become the business leaders, what do we really think is going to happen? So this is why I'm proud that the governor is pushing very aggressively on his education budget. And what I'm asking of you is if it's something that you care about, then be in communication with your state representatives, your state senators, find out what their position is, see if it matches with yours. If it does, support them. If it does not, you need to talk to them about what you require as a citizen. Because the budget is going to be a big fight, and there are some pieces in that fight that we need to care about and actively participate in. Another thing that I want to share with you is the governor has a website for those of you who like electronic media. One of the pieces I found very useful on www.schoolsthatteach.com is it has a drop-down bar where you can actually select your school district from anywhere in the state, and you can see what would be the impact if the governor's proposed budget on education in particular goes through. So in Pittsburgh, the impact would be, and I want to get this right, so let me, $14,900,000 increase in the budget. For Pittsburgh, there's a lot that we could make happen with that. So, in addition to talking to your state reps, your state senator, letting the governor know if you agree with those concepts, you need to be actively engaged with your schools. You need to find out what their agenda is. Is it something that you can support, and is it something that you can actively participate in, and ask how you can help make that happen. I don't know about you, but I need them youngins to get educated. I need them to get jobs that pay. I need to make sure my Social Security is on track. So I need this budget thing with education to happen. And if nothing else, one of the things that the governor is saying is it's just not an option to let things continue to fall. And he and the First Lady, Frances Wolf, have been traveling the state on their Schools That Teach tour. So they are actively engaged with educators, parents, students. So this isn't just some random thing that he's going like, yeah, more money for schools. He's more money for specific things that need to be done that enhance our students' lives, because that enhances the families, that enhances the communities, that enhances the state. Education is, I believe, the third most expensive thing that happens in the state budget. But historically, the state has only been paying 35% of what education costs. And then each school district has to figure out how to get the rest in there. So one of the things that Governor Wolf's budget proposal does is it lists what the state will contribute up to 50%. That matters. That's important. And we do, I believe, think that it makes more sense to spend more money on education than to spend more money on incarceration.
All right. Yeah.
And our correction system is the most expensive part of the state budget. So that's what I want to share with you today. And I'm new in my position as the Deputy Director for the Southwest Regional Office of the Governor, but it's right here, downtown Pittsburgh, Fifth Avenue. So please be in touch with me. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you want me to share with the governor. Let me know what's important, because I'm not just advocating for education. I'm advocating for this region and the things that need to be communicated back and forth to Harrisburg. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time and your attention.
Thank you, Khadija. Up next, we're going to introduce a man that needs no introduction. Our county executive, Richard Fitzgerald, is here. Let's give him a round of applause and welcome to the stage.
Thanks. It's good to see everybody tonight. Glad everybody is here. It's wonderful to hear what the governor's budget is out there and to see what he's doing, investing in education,